I'm not sure if anyone else remembers this site. I've asked a few people over the years, and nobody seems to know what I'm talking about, which is strange because at one point it felt like the whole internet was whispering about it. This was back in 2014. I was in college then, living off campus with two roommates in a cramped apartment that always smelled faintly like burnt coffee and laundry detergent. Most nights I stayed up late doing homework, watching videos, or scrolling through random forums. It was normal internet boredom. One night around 2 in the morning, I found a thread on a small discussion site. I honestly don't even remember how I got there. Probably one of those creepy internet rabbit hole posts that links to 10 other posts. The thread title was simple. Has anyone else been contacted by them? At first I assumed it was some kind of role play or horror writing thing. The internet was full of those, but the replies didn't really read like fiction. People were describing emails. Not spam, not scams, just emails. The weird part was that everyone described the same thing, an empty message with no subject line, and one attachment, a video file. According to the posts, the video was always the same length, 30 seconds. Someone in the thread said they had opened it by mistake. They claimed the video showed a still image of a dark room, nothing moving. Just a corner of a room with what looked like an old wooden chair against the wall. For the first 20 seconds, nothing happened. Then the camera shifted. Not like someone moved it. More like the perspective changed slightly, as if the camera had taken a single step closer. And then the video ended. That was it. The person who posted about it said they thought it was some kind of experimental art project or creepy ARG. But then more people started replying. Some said they'd received the same email, same video, same 30 seconds. And every single one of them said the same thing. The chair is a little closer each time you watch it. I remember laughing when I read that, not out loud or anything. Just the quiet kind of laugh you do when you're alone at night and you know you're reading something dumb but entertaining. I assumed the whole thing was staged, but I kept reading. Someone else in the thread said they had tried to analyze the file, frame by frame. They said there was no visible edit, no jump cut, no digital trick. But the chair did move. Just a few inches. Like something was pushing it forward between frames. Eventually, the thread turned into a challenge. People started asking for the email. They wanted to see the video for themselves. That's where things got weird. Because the people who said they had received the message claimed they couldn't forward it. One guy said the attachment disappeared the moment he tried. Another said the file corrupted if he attempted to upload it anywhere. Most people assumed they were lying. And honestly, so did I. Until about a week later. I got the email. I remember the moment clearly because it was so ordinary. I had just finished a paper and I was checking my inbox before going to bed. There was a message sitting there with no subject line, no sender name, just a long string of letters and numbers. Inside the email was nothing except an attachment, a file called room.mp4. I immediately thought of the forum thread. At first, I assumed someone from the site was messing with people. Maybe they scraped usernames or emails from somewhere. But curiosity got the better of me. I downloaded the file. I told myself I'd just skim it for a second. The video opened on a dark room, low quality, grainy. The camera seemed to be placed in the corner near the ceiling. The room itself looked empty except for one thing, a wooden chair sitting near the center of the floor. The lighting was dim, like a single lamp outside the frame. For about 20 seconds, nothing happened. No sound, no movement, just the chair. Then the perspective shifted. It wasn't dramatic. If you weren't paying attention, you might miss it. But the camera was slightly closer, just a few inches. Then the video ended. I remember sitting there, staring at the screen for a minute. Not scared, just confused. It honestly felt like watching a weird art clip. I even replayed it. Same thing. Still room, chair, camera shift, end. I closed the file and went to bed. That should have been the end of it. But the next night, I watched it again. Mostly because I wanted to check something. The forum thread had claimed the chair moved, so I paid attention. And that's when I noticed something I hadn't before. The chair wasn't in the same spot, not by much, maybe a few inches. But I was almost certain it had been further back the first time. I tried to rationalize it immediately. Memory is weird. The human brain fills in details that weren't there. I figured I had just misremembered. Still, I watched the video again. And again. Each time the same thing happened. The camera moved slightly closer after 20 seconds. But something else changed too. The chair was drifting toward the camera. Just a little. I told myself it had to be some kind of trick. Maybe the video was dynamically rendering frames. Maybe my computer was glitching. So I sent the file to my roommate. Or at least I tried to. The moment I attached it to an email, the file disappeared, not failed to send. It just vanished from the folder. I checked my downloads. Gone. For a second, I thought I'd accidentally deleted it. But then I opened the original email again. The attachment was still there, like nothing had happened. That's when I started feeling a little uneasy, not terrified, just unsettled. The kind of feeling you get when something small doesn't behave the way it should. Over the next few days, I watched the video a handful of times. Not obsessively, maybe once a night, mostly out of curiosity. And every time, the chair moved closer. At first, it was subtle, but eventually it was impossible to ignore. By the fifth or sixth time, the chair had crossed half the room. I remember measuring it using the floor tiles visible in the frame. It was definitely moving. And the camera kept stepping closer too, like something approaching from the ceiling corner. That's when I stopped watching it. I told myself it was some elaborate internet trick. Maybe the file was updating somehow. Maybe someone was remotely altering it. So I left it alone. Weeks passed, I forgot about it. The email just sat there in my inbox, buried under newer messages. Then one night, months later, I saw the thumbnail again. I hadn't opened it since the last time, but something about seeing it there made me curious again. I clicked the video. This time the chair wasn't in the center of the room. It was right in front of the camera, close enough that you could see scratches in the wood. For the first 20 seconds, nothing happened. Then the camera shifted forward again. Only a few inches, but it was enough. Because the chair filled almost the entire frame now. And right before the video ended, something changed. It took me a moment to understand what I was looking at. The chair wasn't empty. There was something behind it. A shape, dark, human-sized, standing just out of the light. The video cut off before I could make out any details. I closed the file immediately. I remember sitting there for a long time, staring at my monitor, trying to convince myself I had imagined it. The next morning, I checked the email again. The attachment was gone, not corrupted, not broken, just missing. I searched the forum where I had first read about it. The thread was gone too, like it had never existed. That was 12 years ago. I've changed computers 3 times since then. Moved to different apartments, different cities. I don't talk about it much because it sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud. But something happened tonight that reminded me of it. While cleaning my inbox, I noticed an email at the bottom of the list. No subject, no sender name. Just a long string of letters and numbers. And one attachment. A file called room.mp4. I haven't opened it yet, but the preview thumbnail is visible, and the chair is gone.